How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Penelope says hi, and now she doesn't want anything to do with you. Or maybe me. I don't know. Anyway, you know how cats are. They're very affectionate when they want to be, which is usually never. But actually, that's not true of most of my cats. But I think they're... I don't know what's going on down here between my feet with a couple of them. But so anyway, I started off on a tangent already instead of kind of going off on one. After I had been doing the video for a little bit. All right, so subject matter today is the state of Iowa, where I live, recently enacted, like just enacted, a 6-week abortion ban. Now, first of all, let me be perfectly clear that my opinion on this is that in most circumstances, abortion is the wrong decision to make. I don't agree with it, generally speaking. However, I also recognize that there are times when it is necessary. Now, if you want to talk about medical situations, I trust doctors to make that determination, not politicians. So, to say that, well, this woman is going to have to bleed out on the table before we can do anything. No, that is pure evil. What are you thinking with something like that? Some states have no exceptions. The state of Iowa, the law here, it's a 6-week ban, which, keep in mind, 6 weeks, women don't even know they're pregnant, typically. Actually, technically, it's not even a 6-week ban in Iowa. It's a fetal heartbeat, or cardiac activity, I guess, because it's technically not a heart either at that point. A heart hasn't developed yet. But that happens at around 6 weeks. And, it's, like I said, I am generally against it. I think it's the wrong choice. However, there are circumstances where it needs to be available. I understand why a woman wouldn't want to carry a rapist baby. And I think that exception should be there, which the state of Iowa has, but there's a caveat to it, and I'll get to that. Cases of incest. Again, should she be forced to carry that? No, I don't think so. And the state of Iowa has an exception for that. But again, there's a caveat that I'll get to. And there are exceptions for medical situations. Now, some exceptions that I didn't see in the law were a while back, like I want to say it was when Roe versus Wade was first overturned with the Dobbs decision, that I want to say that it was Ohio. A 10-year-old girl was pregnant, had to flee the state because she had been sexually assaulted. She was pregnant. And at 10 years old, her body is not capable of carrying that child to term. So does the state of Iowa have any exceptions like that? I don't know. But the rape exception, it has to be reported within 45 days. You do understand most women don't come forward right away with something like that, right? You understand why? A lot of times, we don't take the default position of believing them. We take the default position of doubting them. Why? Why would we do that? Why would a woman make something like that up? Do some? Yeah, of course. Do most of them? Of course not. Why would they? So, because the default position is to doubt them, a lot of times they don't come forward. And let's also take into consideration here that spousal rape is a thing. It exists. A woman can be raped by her husband. It happens. How often? I don't know. I don't have statistics on that. But just the fact that it does happen. Is she going to report that? Most women? No. Why? Out of fear. What's he going to do to her next? I mean, should that exception be there? Yes. 45 days? I don't know. Now, I've never been in that situation, of course. But I can understand why a woman wouldn't come forward that quickly. The incest exception. That has to be reported within 140 days. Now, let's take that 10-year-old girl in Ohio that I was talking about just a little bit ago. I'm sure you've all heard about that case. 10 years old, pregnant. In that case, if I remember correctly, she was molested by her uncle. Incest. So, under that circumstance, I mean, a girl like that, I mean, she might be afraid to come forward, because Uncle Gary did this or that, or, whatever. But maybe Uncle Gary told her various different things to keep her quiet. Maybe he promised her certain things not to say anything. Maybe he threatened her. What if the girl is molested by her father? Most girls look up to their dads. For most girls, daddy can do no wrong. Well, she may not understand that daddy did something very wrong. Is she going to come forward? Is she going to say something? And who's going to report that on her behalf? I mean, what if it's a situation where a father abuses his daughter, but he's also abusive to his wife? Food for thought there. I mean, should those exceptions be available? Yes. Should they be that restrictive? I'm not so sure. And again, like I said, in general, I think it's the wrong decision to make. And I absolutely oppose it in every circumstance beyond the point of viability, barring a medical emergency. And I think most people would agree with that position. So I think it's the wrong decision to make, but it needs to be available for certain circumstances. And I also don't trust politicians to make the determination what those circumstances are. And I don't know. If a woman has been raped, she's probably afraid to come forward. Maybe the rapist, maybe she fears that he'll do it again or do something worse. And I'll guarantee that that incest victim, because in more cases than not, that's going to be an underage girl that's been abused. Maybe we should think about what laws we're passing and the consequences thereof. Let's play out every possible unintended consequence before we just start passing laws that make us feel good. Just a thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you next time.